Hi, it's Traven here. I'm sure you have heard of the buzzword Web3, right? Have you ever wondered what exactly does that mean, as well as curious about what is Web 1 or 2 then, right? So as I'm actually learning on this journey, I would like to take the opportunity to use a video to share with you what I've found. So I will begin by telling you actually the history of internet, which was actually created in the year of 1970s. So that's not too long ago, right, actually. And Web 1 is then only begins around 1990 till around year 2000. Think of Yahoo or Craigslist if you're familiar with that, right? So basically it's a read-only kind of form of internet that's really not much interactions, and you're there likely just to consume information, reading news, etc. It's more of like moving from the traditional print media to the online or digital format. And it comes to around 2004 2005. That's when the Web 2 actually popularized, right? It is then introduced user to users interactions. Think of Facebook, think of YouTube, think of TikTok that or Instagram, right? So basically a read and write kind of version, which means that you are not only consuming information, you are actually interacting. You can interact with the content creators, right? And content creation is possible for almost anyone and everyone, right? But also much simpler. But the pain is that you do not exactly own the content, because as a matter of fact, especially for content creators, you will understand this, right? It's like building businesses on the rented land. So that's exactly how decentralized companies like Google, Facebook actually make huge revenues by selling your personal information, you know, or your user generated content to the advertisers, etc. Right? So then also that's actually downside to Web 2, which is really on the topic of privacy, right? So the privacy is actually a huge concern here, and that's why it gives or leads to the birth of the idea of Web 3. So it is actually Web 3 is not a place. Actually, Web 3 is really more like a concept, an idea of the version of the internet that is decentralized. That's the keyword, decentralized, and based on public blockchain. So you might also heard of this word. It's actually blockchain enabled internet. So this is now then a read write on. So if I were to elaborate more, is that the Web3 is usually centralized around individual autonomy as well as ownership of your personal information, and Web3 actually believes that the concept of a truly open metaverse. So of course we are not exactly there at this year of 2022, but you notice really a few key principles in this Web3 concept, such as open, centralized, and censorship resistance, as well as permissionless. Right, so those are the keywords. If you are keen to learn more, you can feel free to Google more. But if I were to summarize what is Web 1, 2, 3 is, one is actually Web 1 is on the reading only, and Web 2, YouTube, Google, etc. You have interactions, so that's read and write, and Web 3 is then you can read, write, as well as own those information, and be very much open, and a lot of things will then be decentralized. So that's a quick sharing and summary of Web 1, 2, 3 is. Alright, hopefully you find this video helpful, and I will definitely do more sharing with you, and I'll see you in the next video.